Welcome to our weekly Mitzvah Shabbos program. We are now in the middle of the 3 weeks, Chodesh Avelis, as we explained last week, that the first Shivasa B'Tammuz, when Mashiach will come, will be a Yontif. First Yontif, Tisha B'Av will be the second Yontif, and the middle is Chol HaMoed. By the way, we spoke that Chassidim, it's called Chodesh Avelis, but Chassidim are called Chodesh HaGeula. Tammuz is Chodesh HaGeula. The Rebbe once went to Nachamovel, somebody, and the Rebbe said to them, don't be mahader in Avelis. A person doesn't have to be, of course you have to do halacha, there's a hidur, but there is a din, but don't be mahader. We mourn, but don't be mahader. Chassidim are not mahader in Avelis. Because when you're mahader in Avelis with that person that passed away, they're mahader in Avelis with him in the other world. So it depends on us. If we're not mahader, they're not mahader with him in the other world. Once I saw a Litvish Yid, a Litvish Bacher, he was getting married that week. And I saw him, I said, you look very sad, you look very... So he tells me, that's a losh he used. I am besoch shiva. I'm in the middle of it. Who passed away? No, he means besoch shiva, the 7 days before the wedding. So he's besoch shiva. He was then in the morning. Chassidim are happy. Years ago, before Chassidim, they used to call Chassidim the Freilacher. So even though we're in Avelis, but we have to be Freilach. And that's the Chag HaGeula. So talking about an Avelis, the Rebbe, before the Rebbe was the Rebbe, the Ramash, many times he used to write letters to people for Dichom Avelim, and sometimes he went. To that person that was supposed to go, he had to go, and he excused himself they didn't go. So he wrote a letter instead. I have the letter here that the Rebbe wrote to him. Nichum Avelim letter. There are many letters we have. We have in the letter in spirit. We're going to have in the future. But there are many letters. But this is a letter that I want to share with you about Nichum Avelim. The Rebbe wrote a mashal. And maybe it says the mashal somewhere. There was a person that was standing in front of a river, in front of water. And he was meditating. At Getracht, it's a place to think. Then he picks up his head and he looks on the right side. He looks all the way. He sees hundreds of people dancing and freilach, dancing and drinking mashke, saying l'chaim, and a simcha gedele b'yaser. What's the simcha? Today, a ship is built, and the first time the ship is going out for a long, long journey overseas. Then he turns his head on the left side and he sees an old ship coming back with merchandise for a final destination. Who is there to meet the ship? Who's there mekabel upon him? 10 people. So the person says to himself, as the Rebbe writes, look, here is a ship. It's going out for the first time. Hundreds of people are happy, which is good. But the Rebbe should have helfen. Who knows if the ship is going to sink or not? Who knows if the ship will overcome all the milchamas, all the wars? Who knows what's going to happen? Nevertheless, hundreds of people are happy. And here is on the left side a ship that's already went through all the milchamas, went through all the tornadoes, all the wars, all the weathers, and it's coming back to its final destination with good merchandise. Who cares? Who is there to makabel ponim? A handful of people. So the Rebbe speaks to him about the nimshal. I think that person needed to have said something about his kibbud av va'im. So the Rebbe says, a person comes down to the world, a person doesn't want to be born. But a person makes so we make a bris, we make a simcha, we make a shalom zachar. We're happy because we hope, we give brachas that to be in this world is a big nisayon. It's a big test to overcome brachas. But what if a person already is older and he went through all the tests, all the nisyonis, and is coming back to its final destination? He's coming at his older age. Who cares about him? It's just a handful of people. So the Rebbe was giving him a nimshal over there that his behavior should have been, should be, I guess, a behavior. And this is a deira. Now, the Rebbe always, once the Rebbe, somebody wrote to the Rebbe a letter. I think I mentioned to you a few years ago, but maybe I'll do it again. A man writes to the Rebbe, you always say that everything in this world is for a purpose. My mother is a vegetable. The doctor said she is a vegetable. She's in the hospital. What's the purpose of her living? He asked the Rebbe, what's the purpose? And then he writes, his children and his grandchildren are always with her for months and months. And they never take off the eyes, not a minute. They take turns. They're always there. But what's the purpose? So the Rebbe answered him, the purpose of her living is, you saying that she is in a hospital. People there, visitors that come visit other people, they see what your children are doing, how the kibbud avo aim they have to your mother. This is her purpose of living. Everything has a purpose. The kibbud avo aim is, and the Rebbe was very impressed that children and grand never take off their eyes. This is another hero which I think people understand. So this is a hero, and the Rebbe told him also here it says that he should learn Pirkei Avos with the children. Another letter, the Rebbe Chov Dalet Tammuz. Now it's in the 3 weeks. Tziyim b'mishpat tibode v'shaveh b'tzdaka. Now it's a time to give tzedakah, to give charity. It's a time to give tzedakah. Tzedakah tatzal mimoves. So there's a word from the Frierdiker Rebbe writes that geld, money, the numerical number of geld is 112. Gimel ayin lamed tes is 112. Geld has the same numerical values equal to blotte. Blotte means mud, manure, schmutz. Geld and schmutz is albuzach. That's 112 and that's 112. So the Frierdiker Rebbe says, you give tzedakah, people give tzedakah. So why is it blotte? Tzedakah is very important. So the Rebbe says, geld is blotte. When you hold the blotte in one place, waste, it starts smelling. It's not good. But when you take this blotte, manure, and you spread it out the field, and the fertilizer, it becomes good field only when you spread it out. So geld is blotte when you hold it. But when you give out geld, when you give tzedakah, then it's good and it's fertilizer, and then it becomes fresh and everything is good. So this is the idea of now giving, the 3 weeks giving tzedakah. And the last thing that the Rebbe left us, Parsha Vayakil, is with Ahavas Yisrael, which is the time of 3 weeks, because we have to, there was Sinas Chila B'chur Beis HaMikdash, Ahavas Yisrael, and to give tzedakah. So I just want to end off now with one story of a chassid about Ahavas Yisrael, how we can learn from a chassid Ahavas Yisrael. Interesting. My wife Zayda, Rabbi Rob Send and Nemtsov, Rabbi Mindel's father-in-law, we lived in Long Beach, Long Island. Now, Long Beach is a city. It's a place. It says that when people Kabbalah Shabbos, Makabal Shabbos early, every shul davens early, then every person who lives in that city has to be Makabal Shabbos early. Unless there's one shul that davens Mariv later, that's fine. But if every shul davens early, then everyone in the city becomes Shabbos by them. He lived in Long Beach, and every shul there were hotels, there were shuls, there were maybe 6, 7. Every shul that was Makabel Shabbos early. He was Moiseh Nefesh to be Makabel Shabbos Dafke late. He was an older man, and nobody wanted to daven with him because everybody wanted to go home early. And so people did him favors sometimes. From Sunday till Shabbos, he used to call people didn't want. This one did him a favor, this one. So he did have a minyan. Kamet Soris, he had a minyan, but nobody wanted to go with him. So somebody asked, he says, Rabbi Avram Sender, the Alter Rebbe says in Shulchan Aruch that you're allowed to bring Shabbos early. Why are you so much, if it would be easy for you to daven late, good. Why are you so much Mesiras Nefesh that you have to get a minyan? It's very hard. So he tells them, he says, because it says, if every shul is Mekabel Shabbos early, everyone who's Mechal Shabbos, that hour, who is Mechal, is called Chil Shabbos. He wants to prevent at least these people that are Mechal Shabbos, that drive a car Shabbos, they should be an hour less Chil Shabbos. So he was willing to be Moiseh Nefesh, to go and make sure that we should daven. This is called a chosid, to daven late. So this is Alter Chos. I want to bring the Avas Yisrael, the love of every Yid, and this is what we can learn from what a real chosid is. The Rebbe should helfen that Yofche Yomim Meilu L'Sosid L'Simcha. We should have Avas Yisrael, and we should give tzedakah. It should be like fertilizer, spread out. And this will bring the Gula Shlema B'mheira V'Yameinu. In Mitzvah next week, we'll continue our weekly program. Thank you.